Hello everyone and welcome to this video of the review of this Siemens iQ700 iDos washing machine, 10kg, 1600 spin. Model number is WG56B2A1GB. Before I start, just a quick note, the door on the machine is not what it originally comes with. Originally it comes with a tinted black door, which I'll add a picture of what it looks like. But I swapped that out because I wasn't a fan of the design of the tinted black door because it made it difficult to see in. So without further ado, let's get on with it. Starting with the detergent drawer. So as I said, this is an iDos machine. So you open it and you've got these two compartments here. Number 2 here, it says, oh, I'll just move it over, liquid detergent or fabric softener. So you can set on the machine if you want this compartment to have liquid or fabric softener in it, depending on if you use fabric softener or not. So if you're the type of person who doesn't use fabric softener, then you can set it to have liquid detergent in instead. So you can have two different types of detergent in each of these, and depending on what loads you're washing, you can select which detergent you want to add. Or you can have fabric softener in, which I have got. Excuse it, it is a bit dirty in there as I didn't properly clean it last time. And the other side has liquid detergent. It's a bigger compartment, so this side holds about 1 litre, this side about half a litre. And in here you'll put main wash powder if you're not using the iDos for detergent. To remove this, you just press this in and it comes out quite far. When you're cleaning it, make sure you remove this because you can't get this bit wet because that's got electronics in it. The rest of it you can clean using water. As you can see, it does come out quite far and it goes back in like that. Down to the drum, as I said, this door is not original. This door is from an older model. So in here we've got a 10kg drum, 70 litres in volume. Here is the power speed jet, which sprays water from the bottom up and over the clothes during the main wash. Also, you can probably can't see how it's there, sorry. There's a drum light which I'll power on now, which lights up the drum, so it makes it easy to see while you're loading and unloading. Nice feature. So yeah, it is a huge drum and I've missed something from the last wash, a little cloth, my mistake. Annoyingly the drum light doesn't stay on for very long, but it's fine. It does stay on longer at the end of a cycle. In here you've got the bottom, a bit of hair in there. What I like about this is the holes are right at the bottom, so it doesn't leave any excess water after the wash. This machine has literally only just finished the wash as I'm making the video. So yeah, it's a lovely big drum. It's got the AquaWave design, which is more gentle on clothes. It's got these paddles, which, depending on the direction, if it goes that way, it's more gentle on clothes. That way is more vigorous. And they have programs in some of the cycles, mainly the delicate ones. It'll only tumble that way for most of the cycle, which is more delicate. It's programmed like that on the woolens and the trainer sport shoes program, which is quite good. So yeah, nice drum. Unfortunately, from the Series 6 I last reviewed, Bosch Series 6, they haven't done anything about this back plate. It's still very thin, but it never causes an issue, so it's not really a big deal. Up here you've got the QR code to set up Home Connect. So you just scan that on the app. You need to download the Home Connect app and then scan that, and then you can set the machine up. Over here is what would be the model number sticker, but I've swapped the door. I'll add a picture of the original sticker so you can see the information, but this door is off that model machine. Ignore that because obviously this is not that model. Also the hinge is a bit dirty or slightly corroded. The original hinge is not like that. This door is bloody 10 years old, so take no notice of that. It's not to do with this machine itself. Down here you've got the pump filter. You will notice I've stuck a bit of blue tack on this because it rattles a bit on spin. I'll just remove that and show you. If I shut that, it's a bit loose, so it rattles a bit while the machine was on spin, so I've had to stick that there. The Series 6 Bosch I didn't have that issue, so I don't know why this does. So anyway, you've got a drain hose here, which will empty water into a tray. Pump filter there, and that's an emergency door release if the power goes out and the door is still locked. I'll close that up and just make sure it's set in. So yeah, obviously that stops it rattling. Slight problem I had with this machine, but an easy fix. So we'll have a walk through the controls. I'm not going to go through each program and option in this video because it'll end up being way too long, but I'll give a brief overview of what they all do. So when you first start the machine up, it defaults to the Eco4060 cycle, which is where it gets its energy rating from, which I'll attach a picture of to the video because I can't remember what it's rated. So you can't really do anything with this cycle. The options button here just hides those. I'm not really sure what the point of that is, honestly. I'd rather just have it there all the time. But you've got the option of either iDos 1, have that on or off, iDos 2, which is softener. You can change the spin on this program. You can't change the temperature because it's automatic on this cycle. You can have ready in of up to 24 hours. This means it'll finish in that time, not start in that time. That makes sense. Favourite button there, you can set a specific cycle as your favourite if you use one cycle the most. I've currently got it set to a 1 hour cycle with the iDos on, and then if you unselect it, it goes back. Basic settings, if I select that, this is the end beep volume. I've currently only got that on 1. Next one is the keypad tone volume. Got that on 2. This one is display brightness, which I've got on the max. Next one, I don't know what that does. This drum clean reminder, so I've got that on, you can turn that off. It'll remind you to do a drum clean through the app if it knows that it's not had a hot wash in a certain amount of time, like above 60 degrees, which is quite handy. So I've kept that on. The next one is, I'm sure it has a program counted on one of these. Weird. Oh, there we go. So next one is the amount of cycles it's done. So 181. It's quite a lot. I've had this machine about 6-7 months maybe in the house. Annoyingly, it doesn't stay on this setting for very long. And then the last one is reset. It resets the machine back to factory settings, which I'm not going to do. So yeah, that's all the settings. You've got a child lock, which you hold for 3 seconds, and then you can't do anything, and then to unselect it you do that. And then you've got remote start, which allows you to start the machine through the app. You've got to close the door for that, but yeah, that's also a feature I don't really use. If you can see there, it flashes up the recommended max load size for each program. So this one's 10 kilogram. We'll go to cotton. It'll also be 10 kilogram, as you can see. So now that we're on cotton, you can pretty much have every option on this cycle. So you can change the temperature. You can have 50, I'll do it from this way. I do like how you can have 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, cold, 20, 30, 40. So it's a very good selection of temperatures. Spin I've already showed. So on this cycle, you can have stains, so you can have blood, which adds, I think this one adds a pre-wash and a soak, and it adds rinses. I've got a image which I'll attach from YouTuber Mr. Laundry 101 helped with this. It says what all the stains do, so I'll attach that because I can't remember off the top of my head. So I'll attach that now. So blood stain, tomato stain. I believe this one adds 2 rinses and adds a pre-wash as well. I can't remember, it'll be in the video. Butter / oil, or in the app it's called grease / oil, which is a bit odd, but it's both the same. This stain just increases the wash water level, changes the wash action, and changes the wash heating. Same for red wine, I think. Grass stain, that one keeps the wash level low but increases the rinses. And sweat stain, I think that does the same as the butter oil. So on this cycle you can have a pre-wash, which adds half an hour. It heats to 30 degrees on most cycles, the pre-wash, and it has a short spin after it. Vario speed cuts the wash time down dramatically. You can see it also changes the maximum recommended capacity though to 5 kilograms. To be honest, on this cycle, cotton with speed, I use this one pretty much most of the time, even if it's full, and it does a good job all the time. It may take a bit longer if you fill it more than the recommended capacity. Like this one will take about 10 to 15 minutes more if you select speed, but it's not bad at all. And obviously you can even increase the temperature, which increases the time slightly. But yeah, that's the cycle I use the most, is cotton with speed. So you've also got water and rinse plus. This increases the wane wash level. Well, it's supposed to, more on that later. And it adds 1 rinse. In the app you can have water plus separate, and you can also add up to 3 rinses. But if you do it from the panel, you have water plus and 1 extra. Mini load is for washing a very small load, half a kilogram. If you do put more in, it'll adapt the cycle, it'll add some time on, so it still washes properly. But yeah, you can see, very short. But yeah, don't be using this option with a full load thinking you're getting a half-hour wash, because it will take longer. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So as for the cycles, you've got Easy Care. Easy Care now allows a 1400 spin, which is interesting. 2 hours 29 for this cycle, which is quite long for the Easy Care, and with speed it's then too short. It's only 48 minutes. So yeah, it's a bit strange, that cycle. I don't really use this one very much. One cycle that I do use quite a bit, mixed fabrics, so it's only an hour long. You can have a 4 kilogram load on this. Same for the Easy Care. You can select speed on this and take even more time off. You can have up to 60 degrees on this, which is very good. You can have a 1600 spin. You can have stains. You can have, yeah, all the stains. You can have mini loads as well, which takes the time right down. So yeah, pretty good cycle, that one. Delicates is for 2 kilograms of delicates. Again, you can put more in, but it'll take a bit longer. Yeah, pretty good cycle again. You can have a pre-wash, you can have stains on delicates, which is very good. You can have an extra rinse, you can have a mini load, which doesn't take off much time. Spin can go up to 800, temperature can go up to 40 on this cycle. Wool wash, I haven't tried on this machine, but if you remember from the Series 6 review, which by the way I'll link in the description, the wool cycle on these Bosch machines, or Bosch and Siemens, is awful. It doesn't allow the detergent iDos on this cycle, which is a bit strange. You can have up to 40, 800. You can have a mini load on this, which I'm assuming makes the cycle even worse. So yeah, I've not tried this cycle, but from what I know, it's still the same, so it's still absolutely useless. App programs I'll come back to later. Rinse, it's just 1 cotton rinse. You can have up to 1600. You can put softener in. You can have water and rinse plus. You could also have 3 extra rinses in the app if you want to. Spin and drain is just a spin cycle. You can have up to 1600, or you can have just the drain only. Outdoor waterproofing is an interesting one. It defaults to rinse hold, so I think I believe what you're supposed to do, because this is an iDos machine, you let it get to rinse hold and then you put your waterproof stuff in and then you continue the cycle. Because if you change the spin, it ups the time massively. Because what this cycle does is it heats up on the final rinse to activate waterproof agents. So yeah, this cycle I don't really use it much because I don't really need to. You can have stains on it, and you can have extra water and rinses if you want. Auto is an automatic cycle for washing, says up to 6 kilograms of whatever you want to put in. It'll automatically set the temperature and the spin, and you can have the auto dosing as well. So I think this cycle does maximum 40 degrees, maximum 1400 RPM spin. It's not one I really use much because I'd rather just use cottons with speed or mixed, but it's fairly alright cycle. You can have stains on it. Quick wash rapid 1530. I don't really use this cycle much because I don't like washing stuff on quick washes, but you can have 4 kilograms in half an hour. You can go to 40, which adds 5 minutes on. You can have 1200 spin, or if you select speed, it reduces down to 2 kilograms in 20 minutes of 40 and 15 for below. So yeah, I don't really use this one very much because I'd rather wash a bit longer than that, but it's useful, it's there. Power speed 59 minutes is for washing a half load quite intensively in an hour. It's a pretty good wash, this cycle. It's good for like sort of smaller loads that are stained but you want to get them done quick. It does an intensive wash at 40. For some reason 1400 is the max. And yeah, the only thing I don't like about this one, the rinsing's not very good on this cycle. You can add extra rinse if you want to, but as you can see, the rinses are very short on this cycle because it puts most of the time towards washing. You can add stains on this program. You can add a pre-wash, and as I said, you can have extra water and rinses as well. Finally, smart finish is a steam cycle. So this machine has a steamer. So that's for 1.5 kilograms and it'll just steam them. Or if you select speed, that's for one item, 0.2 kilos, just like one shirt. So if you want them to get creases out of a shirt, then it's quite useful. So that's all the programs on the dial. I'll switch over to the app now. Shirts, blouses. So this is for washing 2 kilograms of shirts. I honestly haven't used this cycle on this machine, but my old Bosch Series 6 had the shirt cycle. It's decent enough. You can add stains. You can add extra water. You can even have a mini load. Only a slow spin on this. It'll do the spin in stages to keep creases out. You can have a pre-wash. You can go up to 60 as well. Pretty good. So yeah, that's shirts. Next cycle, jeans dark wash. Again, my old Bosch Series 6 had this and they haven't changed it. 4 kilograms. You can have all the stains. You can go up to 40 max. You can go up to 1200, which again is a staged final spin. So this cycle I don't like because it doesn't spin very well, and the load sensing on it isn't very good because it'll try to spin too quickly and it won't. If you're washing like a large load, it won't be able to cope and it'll keep thinking there's too much detergent in the machine and adding on extra time. So I don't really use this cycle very much. It's decent for a smaller load, but not for the bigger, bulky loads. You can have a speed on it. You can have all the options. It's a pretty good wash and rinse. It's just the spin performance lets it down because it leaves stuff quite wet. Next cycle, hygiene. So this is pretty much a cotton wash for 6.5 kilograms, which is odd. Though I'm sure if you wash more, it'll be fine. So it's 60 max, which I don't understand. I think it should be 90. You can go to 1600, you can have all the options on it, you can even have a speed. So this cycle just rinses more, rinses for longer, and it does 4 rinses, so it makes sure that there's no detergent residue left. And it also does quite a long wash, as you can see, it's over 3 hours long. You can have stains, everything. You can even have a mini load, which is a bit longer than the other programs on mini load, because it still does additional rinses. So yeah, I've used that cycle once, it's pretty good. So next is down for washing. It says in the app, microfiber throws, blankets, bed covers, pillows, stuff with synthetic fibres. So you can't have the iDos on this, which I think is because with down duvets, you don't want to put softener on them because I think it ruins them. So you can go up to a 1200 spin, you can go to 60. You can add extra water and rinse if you want to, but that's about it. So this cycle has a major flaw. The final spin on it does the stage spin the same as dark wash and shirts, but if it senses excess water on the spin, it'll stop and just end the program, which is just a joke because duvets hold a lot of water, so you can pretty much guarantee if you wash a duvet on the cycle it won't do the final spin. And it also doesn't use enough water, even if you select Water Plus. It's not enough to wash a duvet. So yeah, I don't really like that cycle. Next is Auto Soft, which is similar to the other Auto cycle but for more delicate. I believe this cycle will only do 30 degrees max, and it will only do an 800 spin max. So you can have stains on it still. I've not used this cycle myself, and I know a couple of other people with the same model machine who have, and that's what I've heard of them about this cycle. Next cycle, drum clean. So obviously for cleaning the drum, it'll remind you itself, if you've got it set to, that of when to clean the drum. It's especially useful if you use low temperatures a lot, like 40 and below. So as you can see, it defaults to 90. Strangely, you can have 40, which I don't understand. And you can have cold, which I guess is useful to rinse the drum out, like if you've got dog or pets like I do, and the drum gets full of hair, you can use that to rinse it. But yeah, it's a pretty good drum clean. For some reason you can also change the spin, I don't get that, but yeah, pretty good cycle. Next is My Time. Whoops, that's not done it right. My Time. So this one's pretty much the rapid 15 cycle, but you can go to 40, you can go to 1200, but you can change the time, as you can see, between 20 minutes and an hour. When you change the time, all it does is add time to the main wash, that's it. The rinses and spin are the same as the super quick 15 cycle. So yeah, I've not used this one. You can have Water Plus if you want to, which adds 10 minutes, that's odd. So you can have an hour 10 if you want. But yeah, next cycle, Sport Shoes. This one is for washing, well, it says 2 kilograms of shoes. I think it recommends max 2 or 3 pairs. It recommends to put towels in with the load to sort of help it wash and to help it not bang about in the drum. So this cycle uses a really high water level, and it only tumbles one direction, as I showed before with the more gentle sides of the paddles, to stop shoes from banging about too much, but it still washes them well. It is a pretty good cycle, to be fair, I do like it. And that's all the cycles. So what I'll do now is I'll put it onto cottons, and I'll go through all the additional options you get. So Water Plus in the app, as you see, it doesn't have any time. So Water Plus is supposed to increase the wash and rinse level, but it doesn't. I genuinely can't tell any difference when I select Water Plus or not in the water levels. One thing I have noticed though is it changes the wash tumbles on some cycles to a more like delicate one with longer pauses in between, which I do not understand at all. So yeah, so Water Plus is pretty much useless. Less ironing reduces the spin down to 800. You can still put it up to a 1200. It'll make the spin go in stages though. It'll do a slow spin, then it'll do a few turns, then a slightly faster one, then it'll repeat that, which helps to stop the load from creasing too much. It does also sometimes alter the wash tumbles and the intermediate spins as well. So yeah, that's an option I don't really use because obviously it makes the spin performance a lot worse. Next option you've got in the app, Soak, which adds on a pre-wash and an hour soak. I haven't had to use that option. Some of the stains do that, such as the blood stain by default. So yeah, that's soaking. One option is Intensive Plus, which adds on half an hour to each cycle. Pretty good option, not so much on cotton because it's already way too long, but what you can do, what I do quite often, mix load and add Intensive Plus to it, adds on half an hour, so you're getting a more intensive wash, but it's still quite a short cycle. So yeah, pretty good option that. It's one that I do use quite a bit on, especially on these short cycles. So I'll take that back off. Next option I've got is Silent, which it lowers the spin, but you can put it back up. If you notice, the button noises have gone off. It also turns off the end beep, and it makes the machine do a long anti-crease to prevent creasing, because obviously you select Silent, you're probably running it overnight. So when you unload the machine, it could be hours later, so it tries to prevent creasing. And then we've got extra rinse. You can have 1 extra rinse, 2 or 3. I've never had to use more than 1. To be honest, I rarely even select extra rinse. The rinsing on this machine is pretty good. And then we've got auto stain, which again I will add the picture. So you've got baby food. This one I believe adds a pre-wash and 3 extra rinses, which is a bit overkill. I don't really know why you'd need that many rinses. Blood, which you've already got, that adds a pre-wash and an extra rinse and a soak. Egg, I can't remember what that one does, but it'll be on the screen. Soil and sand, I think this one adds a soak and 2 rinses maybe. Again, it'll be on the screen if I'm wrong. Grass I mentioned before. Coffee, I think this one just adds Water Plus. Again, every time I say it adds Water Plus, the Water Plus does nothing. So, you know, yeah, I think coffee just adds Water Plus and changes the heating pattern. Cosmetics, that one makes it do a longer temperature hold on the main wash once it's reached temperature like 40 or whatever you select, and it increases the rinse level. Red wine I've already gone through. Chocolate, again I can't remember what that one does, it'll be on the screen. Sweat I've already done. Dirty socks, that one I think does the same as soil and sand, but again I'll put it on the screen. Grease and oil obviously selects butter and oil, so that's why they're the same. Tea does the same as coffee. Tomato sauce is the same as that. Strawberry, that one, I think that one adds a pre-wash and a soak, and it might do something else as well, it'll be on the screen. And finally you've got orange, which again I can't remember what that one does. And that's all the stains. So that's pretty much everything I need to go through in terms of the controls. Now we'll go through what I like and don't like about the machine. We'll start with the things I do like. It's extremely quiet in operation. The next pro is the spin performance is very good with a 1600 spin. It does a very long spin at 1600 on most of the cycles, and yeah, it leaves stuff very dry. The wash performance is very good as well, especially with the use of the power speed jet, which again I'll add a clip of it doing now. Excellent rinsing performance, it's always very good, and you've got the option to add more rinses if you need. The design, it looks amazing. I really do like the design of this machine. It looks really modern. Again, this door on the machine isn't original. I'll attach another picture of the original door, but yeah, it does look amazing. Really sort of sleek and modern. The power speed jet system, it does help to saturate larger load sizes, even though the machine uses very little water. It's very economical. We're on a water meter, so that's honestly a good thing. It has a lot of very quick cycles, so you've got 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40, 45, 50, an hour 15, an hour 30. So very flexible, especially with all the temperatures. You've got 60-degree quick washes and all as well. The final spin on the mixed fabric cycle is better than the previous generation. My old Bosch Series 6 would do only 30 seconds at max speed on the mixed load cycle if it sensed a small load. This will do about 2 minutes, so it's very good. EasyCare allows 1400 spin now, which is quite good, honestly. The temperatures, as I said before, very flexible. You've got 50, 70 and 80, everything in between. Next Pro, they've updated the balancing on the cotton cycle, so that so what it was on the previous generation, it would take a spin, it would go quite unbalanced, and then it would reduce the speed of the final spin quite easily. This one won't do that on cotton, because it'll take a burst, then slow down, and then sense again, and if it's unbalanced it'll stop, and it'll keep trying for a long time till it's perfect. So it doesn't limit the spin anywhere near as often as the Series 6 I had. Another one that ties into that, the suspension seems a lot stronger than the old gen. I won't show you it now, but I'll attach a video of it spinning quite unbalanced. It does seem to cope a bit better than the old version. Build quality is very solid on this machine. It's no flimsy metal, no cheapy creaking plastics, not unlike that. It's very well made in today's standards. It does use a plastic tub, unfortunately, but you can't really expect a metal tub anymore in this day and age, which is sad. And the last positive I've got listed is the huge drum. It's 70 litres, so it really is quite big. So that's all the pros. Now we'll go on to the cons. So first con I've already mentioned, Water Plus does absolutely nothing as far as I can tell. It makes no difference to the water level. And for some reason, on some cycles, it makes the wash action worse when you select Water Plus. I don't understand why, but yeah. Next con is the down duvet cycle, as I mentioned before. The final spin's really badly programmed. If it senses a excess water or a water lock, it'll just cut out and end the cycle, which is really stupid considering you're going to be washing duvets on that cycle, which hold a lot of water. Next is dark wash cycle, still doesn't adapt to the load and add bursts to the spins, so again it'll suds lock and then sense excess detergent and add loads of time. The mix cycle for some reason defaults at 1400. I don't understand why it does that. It's not a huge con really, but I noted it down. The super quick wash, the spin is too short on it still. I was hoping they'd increase it at least for the half an hour version, but they haven't. The spin performance on that cycle is not very good. There's no status lights on the machine itself to let you know what it's doing, like if it's on wash or rinse or spin. You have to check the app. It only tells you the time on the machine, so yeah, strange one. The cottons and easy care cycles without speed are far too long. 3 hours and 39 minutes, whatever it is, it's just ridiculous. I'm never going to need to wash something that long. And then 2.5 for easy care is excessive. That's more like a cotton cycle than easy care. Mixed load cycle or mixed fabrics and the separate spin cycle, they limit the spin too easily still, like my old Bosch Series 6. The con with that machine is it limited the spin very often with larger loads, and this machine does the same on those cycles. Cottons with speed won't, so I use that cycle the most, but yeah, it seems like they haven't updated every cycle, which is a shame. The filter flap rattles, as I mentioned earlier, minor problem. I'm not sure why it does that, but I've fixed it with a bit of glue tack. The iDos system is quite noisy when it dispenses detergent or softener. I'll insert a video now. But yeah, it's quite loud. Considering the rest of the machine's near silent, it's a bit of a shame. The balancing on the quick wash 15 cycle is too fussy, and it never does the interspins on that cycle, which is a shame. It's not a huge deal, but yeah, it's not great really the way they programmed it. The power speed, yeah, I don't think it uses it anywhere near enough. I'd rather it use it like near constant. Like, they made all the effort of putting a jet system in the machine. It barely uses it. It only uses it in the main wash after it's heated, that's it. It doesn't use it in the rinses. It doesn't use it while it's heating for the wash. It doesn't even really use it while it's saturating the load on a lot of cycles. Some cycles don't even use it at all. It's a shame, because I don't understand why you put a jet system in a machine and program it to barely use it. The dial feels quite cheap to me, and as I mentioned earlier, the back of the drum is very thin material, which I don't think it really causes an issue, but yeah, well, it's worth mentioning. So that's everything. Overall, this machine, I do like it. It's very good. It looks amazing. It performs amazing. Is it worth £1,049 though? I didn't pay that much for this machine. I got it refurbished from an outlet store, and I paid less than half the original price. So honestly, I don't think it is worth over £1,000. I wouldn't recommend paying that much for this machine. I'd recommend for most users buy a lower end model with less features. It's less to go wrong, because honestly I have all these features. I barely use most of the cycles. Most of the time I use the same cycle. I'm not a massive fan of the iDos system. I'd rather do it myself, to be honest. So yeah, honestly, it is a great machine. I'd give it a solid 8 to 9 out of 10. It's near perfect for my needs, but yeah, over £1,000, honestly, no, I wouldn't pay it. But yeah, it's still a very good machine. I'm happy with it. I will be keeping it for hopefully a long time. And yeah, thanks for watching the review. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.